Hi, I'm Jenny Patino, and I'm here with Jenny Lamb, and we're going to take a tour of I Can Do That. So, stay with us.
Okay, this is gonna be kind of hard because we're like a three-headed monster. But this is a floor painting, an ink painting, that's kind of taken on a life of its own right now. I mean, everything is taking on a life of its own, which I think is fantastic. Fernanda Quaglia has these really great textured paintings.
Ooh. So what are people doing to improve this one, or have they not really been?
I think for certain pieces, people have been kind of intimidated, like they don't really want to touch them. But I think once people get going, then it's a lot easier.
Whoa.
Emmanuel L. White Eagle, his was being copied, so that's the copy, that's the original.
Oh.
Paint dripping down onto the floor. Peggy Sheeran's artist statement. I thought this was a great idea. She basically started this artist statement, and then people could add to it. So just whatever they wanted to write. And I love the sound of typewriters, so it's always great when people are here.
Cool.
Brandon Kirkman's anti-piece. This is a costume object by Lee Yun Young, who is a Korean artist, and she lives in Holland. Yeah, this is really great because people can they can pretty much write whatever they want and then sew or just kind of tie these pieces onto a dress.
So they can just leave their own message or whatever they want?
Yeah, I mean, the title is Love Story, and I don't really know how people interpret that. Gracie Cannell, right now she took down, she had a photograph here and she had a camera. So she's going to print, like right now she's developing photographs that people took of themselves at the opening reception, and it's going to be all displayed. That's going to be cool.
And it's going to be displayed like now during the...
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Or at least I hope so. I don't know. She had a photograph on a canvas. So this used to be a photograph, and then it's been painted
And people
over.
have just added to it?
Yes.
So what kind of reactions have you been getting from people that are coming to the show? Do they feel like...
Really, really positive. I mean, people have been saying things like, I've never seen anything like this before. And I'm like, really? But yeah, I mean, it's really amazing how positively people have been reacting. I mean, people have been saying that, they're getting inspired, and I think it's bringing out the artist in a lot of people.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, like whether it's, if people are coming up to you and being like, well, I never really thought that I could do it, but here now I am adding to a work in a gallery. So
and having their work displayed at a gallery. Add it to your resume, kind of, maybe. Kathleen Enright, she had these great paintings that people could add to and copy. These boxes were a part of the space. I didn't install these boxes, but I think they've become a part of the show now. Zachary Johnson, he had these great cardboard pieces. People have just been people have been taping their own ones. Like I had only installed a few on the wall, but basically 100 years ago I was A, and then you fill in the blank. Today I am A, and you fill in the blank. And what I really like about this is that people have been adding to other people's templates. So I think this is hilarious. I don't know who did that.
Today I am an Australian with a lot of proteins, no problems.
This is a video piece by Glendalise Medina, who's a Bronx-based artist who I met in New York. It's basically her rapping to One Mic by Nas, and people can kind of like jump in, wear the hoodie that she's wearing in the video, and recite the rap. So I don't know if I want to wait.
Like a performance, like people can engage in their own kind of performance.
Right, yeah,
with it.
yeah.
That's cool. What kind of things are the artists saying about like the interaction that people are having with their work?
I think a lot of them are kind of just amazed that people are taking their artwork in directions that they didn't know that they could go. And I have a lot of artists coming up to me and saying like, this person sat here for like 45 minutes just working on this one piece. And like, for me, that's great news, because normally at openings, you go to an opening, you chat with your friends or whoever you know, and then you like drink.
Yeah, you go
leave.
for the free wine,
right.
and then when that's
what
gone,
I do. I make a beeline straight to the booze, and then I just leave. And well, I drop off my postcards, and then I leave. But like at this show, people are like they're staying and they're actually engaging in the art, which I think is great. So and like the artists are getting the attention that they deserve. So Nathan Stanton, he's a really interesting person because he I mean this is obviously a print and a light box, but he doesn't really own any of his own artwork because he literally gives away his artwork. Like he'll just either give it to people or leave it on the street just for people in the public to just take. So he did this, and you'll also see another painting of his up front. Dead Squirrel, an artist duo. This one is called 100 Handshakes. What they did is they painted their hands and then they shook hands with the canvas in between their hands.
Oh.
So people are going to try to replicate it or change it however they want. Avisha Mosenen's piece, I left a piece of myself in. The number one thing that I love about this piece is that we are the same size. So she built this to her size, and it is my size.
Jenny Lamb size.
I just really love that. But yeah, I mean, this is a part of the piece as well as this bird cage. And
so how does this one work?
Well, you write whatever you want. I guess a part of yourself, and you just leave it in there, and you can sign that statement so you are one of the artists.
Oh,
the only piece I actually participated in. I need to do more.
Oh, yeah, you do.
This is a Banana Man, believe it or not, by Left Handed Wave. You can't really see the banana anymore.
Yeah.
But it's kind of his fault because he wrote
yeah,
to face
he wants
me.
You to
he wanted us to do that.
Graffiti it.
And what he planned to do was, after all this is done, he's going to actually paste it up on the street. So it's kind of like instead of bringing street art into the gallery, it's bringing the gallery onto the street. So that's really cool.
That's a really cool reverse kind of.
Yeah. He's probably I think he'll put it up like on North Avenue, if he does.
I'm looking for penises and I didn't see any.
There was a big one. There was a really big one right there. This one, Janet Mammon, that's the original. People tried to copy it here. I think this is really a really great interpretation because, well, actually, with every single piece that was replicated, I think it's really great because none of them are like straight copies. They're all kind of, your own interpretation of what you think, like the feel of the work is. Like, it's not like a direct Xerox copy, which I think is really great.
Yeah. It's its own sort of permutation of...
Right, yeah. And that one is another piece by Dead Squirrel. It's called Tracing. And people... and people have been like writing their own text on it. Also by Janet Mammon. This looks completely different than how the piece looked like originally. So people have just been adding and adding and layering and layering. Yeah. That's another piece by Nathan Stanton, which was the light box. Angela Harold, she has these two pieces of kind of like, I'm getting tangled, of kind of like these discarded objects. So at first this was originally just the box with the cigarette boxes, and that one was just like the corkscrews. And then people have just been adding their own discarded objects, and it's been getting kind of crazy in a good way.
So what's the main statement that you want like this show to make as the curator? Like what's the big thing that you want people to draw away from it when
I think there are several main things. One of the main things is kind of breaking down stereotypes. I mean, I think one stereotype is that, the art world is really pretentious and kind of cold and distant. And in a lot of cases it is. And for a lot of galleries that is the case. But I mean, it's kind of showing that artists aren't like that at all, and that there isn't really that big of a difference between an artist who shows at a gallery and just a regular person who goes to galleries. And also just that, not so much that anyone can be an artist, but just kind of trying to inspire people to be more creative and kind of open up on both ends, like for the audience and the artists. Because I think it's really brave of them that they're, kind of letting loose and being open to having their own artwork changed. Because I know that I wouldn't be so open to doing that myself. It's like I'm a hypocrite. I'm hearing the show, and I don't know if I would let people change my own artwork.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, like, it seems like this is a really good way to get people to appreciate the craft that goes into artwork, too. Like,
right, exactly. Because it's kind of, if you're standing there trying to replicate something or trying to change something, it kind of puts you almost literally into the position of the artist, and you're thinking, well, maybe it's a lot harder than it looks, or you know, oh, maybe this brushstroke was a lot harder to come by. So, yeah.
Because I know you have a background in like art school, and so a lot of times there's stereotypes about art students as well, and so they're just like, oh, what are they doing? Crazy art students.
Yeah, totally. And like I know that it's saying I can do that is like as an artist you shouldn't say that, but I've totally thought of it before myself. So like I've thought that I've seen something and I've thought it definitely. But
so it seems like a perfect way to critique like art criticism in general.
Yeah, totally. And at the opening reception, Scott West, one of our performance artists, he went around and he pretended to be a snooty art critic, going around like, oh, that's all wrong, like this is terrible, blah blah. And like in the middle, he kind of made like a big announcement saying like, none of this is art. I don't know if this is art. So yeah, I mean it's kind of tongue in cheek. I mean the title of the show itself is kind of tongue in cheek. So the whole, I mean there's kind of humor involved in the show.
What would Greenberg think of your show?
Oh no, I don't want to hear that name ever again. Sorry. Too much acting.
Greenberg. But so you were gonna tell me about this piece. About
Sorry, I was gonna go around. Kira Termini, she had these monoprints, so they were just like prints of endangered species, and she had people add to it. And I think they turned out really beautiful. Yeah.
So is any of this work for sale?
Yes. Pretty much most of it is for sale. Yes.
I mean, like, and with regards to, selling artwork that's been tampered with, like, some people might argue that it's like, oh, well, tampering with it reduces the value, but, like, are you, like, saying, like, well, no, it's now communal?
Right.
So.
I actually would say that it probably, I think that it would maybe even raise the value just because, it is, like, a one-of-a-kind thing, and it's an art piece that didn't really have an end. Like, it just keeps going and evolving, and I think that's really different. So, yeah.
So would you encourage the collector to keep adding to it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Add penises to it. That would be...
Penises for all. Oh my God, there's another one.
Yeah, I know. I guess I can't.
Sorry, that just made my night.
Here's another photography piece.
Oh, cool.
I know I just skipped over a lot, but that's okay.
Yeah.
This is pinhole photography, so people were creating their own pinhole photographs. Chris Mitchell.
Here, let me get out of the way.
Pancho Panoptis, the masked performance art. Creating their own poncho pieces, encouraging people to create their own poncho pieces. Over here were some really great. Those pieces are by Rachel Dennis. That piece and that one with the hands. This is a mandala by Patricia Beeson. Kev Anderson has some comic art. Siobhan Lombardi, really great ink paintings that people are adding to. Over here is Nick Burkhart. So that's the original. This is the copy, and I think the copy is so textured and layered. Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy and insane in a beautiful way.
And there's a lotus blossom.
There's a what?
There's a lotus blossom.
Yes.
It wasn't there.
This is DripX, the painting machine that it drips paint at a rate of every hour or hour and a half. So I think it's hilarious.
Oh wow.
Gabriel Garcia Ferrer, this is really awesome because this was just a print and people have just been adding these crazy. Yeah,
wow, the eyeballs there.
I love the eyeballs.
Man.
I love it.
El diablo tiene ojos.
Yes.
That is really creepy. And I like it.
Potter's Wheel. Of course, very popular.
I'm coming back to this one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I felt bad because throughout the 2 weeks the clay was drying out, and I was trying desperately to spray it all every day, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, once you have somebody work on a potter's wheel, you get such an appreciation for people who can actually do ceramics.
Yeah. So this is a copy. Well, not just a copy. Basically, you go in, you sit there, and you can photocopy your ass if you wanted to. Some women have been photocopying their breasts, and you can. Well, I don't know if you want to show this or. Okay, so you can see what people have been doing. Not everyone has been taking off everything, so it's all up to your own comfort level.
I can help people do whatever they think will make a good piece of art.
Yes.
Little nipple in there. Yeah.
So,
I like the.
You can see the.
Oh yeah, he's been giving out tickets.
Oh, cool.
I mean, it's just like a crazy, amazing performance.
And so,
Installation.
what gave you the idea for this piece?
well, the call for entries, there was something about only brave artists should apply, and that totally appeals to my macho. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do the bravest thing.
What kind of work do you usually do?
Art is not my main. I make my living doing something completely different. I'm not going to quit my day job to do art. So I don't call myself an artist. It's just a hobby. And I'm a programmer. A programmer. Yes, I write code.
And are you having a lot of fun at this program?
Yeah.
Sorry, fun.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
Yes, I'm having great.
Very cool.
Tell where can people find out more about you and other shows that you do? And
Yeah, I mean, it's all on my blog. So that's artistsonthelam. As in LAM, my last name, .blogspot.com. And I also have a Twitter, the Jenny Lam. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited because in less than a week, actually, I'm going to be traveling. Start my summer travels. I'm going to be in Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And in Hong Kong, I'm going to be participating in Art Hong Kong, the International Art Fair, and checking out the art scene over there.
You're a badass.
Well, thank you. I agree. And I'll also be at Art Basel, and I'm going to be in Berlin, I think, as well, in June. So hopefully sharing the art world with Chicago and vice versa.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you. This is fun.